This exploit is insanely easy, and it will speed up your Ashen Athena's quest so much, even if you're solo. Before we get started, I want to thank you guys so much for helping me reach 5,000 subscribers. I've been growing so fast recently, and that is all thanks to you guys, so thank you. I'm now trying to reach 7,500 subscribers, and if you're new here or aren't subscribed, it would help me a lot if you could help me get there. This exploit uses a mechanic that was brought to my attention by this commenter. You are the only commenter I've seen talk about this, and the only person that I've seen talk about this, so thank you so much, and they gave me pretty much everything I needed for this exploit. This exploit starts by doing an Ashen Athena's quest, but you need to cycle the quest until you see one that's on the North 3 Islands. If you aren't familiar with this, then that is Fetcher's Rest, Flintlock Peninsula, and Ruby's Fall. If you don't get that quest specifically, you need to go ahead and cancel it and vote for another one until you get it. You have to do this specific quest to start, and if you aren't able to get it, like trying to dive to it, try and have it where you sail to it instead. That's the only way that I could get it to work. But just remember, you may have to cycle quite a few times to get this to work. And being up there in the north part of the map will help you get that set of quests. After you get the right quest, you're going to go ahead and complete it normally. Now, these are quite a bit shorter than they used to be. Instead of taking like hours, they're only 3 quests. They should take less than an hour. And all you have to do is complete it normally, which I know could take a minute, but that's the only really setup that you need to do for this. And like I said, it's soloable. So after completing the original quest, you'll get the chapter 2, and most likely it will have the actual Ashen Athena's chest on Devil's Thirst. If this doesn't happen, that's okay. What you're going to do is finish the quest and then head to Devil's Thirst. But if it does happen to be on Devil's Thirst, that's what you want. Once you have completed the first quest, and you've either headed to Devil's Thirst because that's where your chest is, or you had to head there after getting your chest, start another Ashen Athena's quest, and you should notice that this time, instead of being on 3 different islands that are fairly far apart, you should get 2 quests at Ashen Reaches and 1 at Devil's Thirst. Now, this is the entire effect of the exploit. Now, whether they've meant for this to be an exploit or they didn't mean to put this in the game, either way, it isn't my job to interpret what they meant to put in the game and what they didn't. It's here, so we need to use it. This could actually just be part of the quest system for all I know, though. If you aren't familiar with this quest, though, the reason this is kind of insane is because normally you would have to travel all the way from these 2 islands that are very close together, all the way back up to Ruby's Fall. And if you don't believe me, if I go back and look at me trying to vote for the first quest, you can see that every single one of them had Ashen Reaches, Devil's Thirst, Ruby's Fall, which is not what you want. You don't want to have to sail all the way back up there just for one of the quests, just to complete one of them. So using this method for some reason stops it from giving you a quest up there, which drastically reduces the travel time. And like I said, I don't know if that's meant to be in the game or not, but that's not my job to interpret. From now on, in this session, whenever you vote for another Ashen Athena's in this southern part of the map, as far as I know, you will get this quest type that for some reason stops it from giving you that top quest and allows you to stay in the far south of the map on just these 2 islands. And once you complete the chapter using these 3 for the chapter 1 quests, the Athena's chest will be back on Devil's Thirst, allowing you to rinse and repeat this entire exploit, the second part of it, as long as you would like and for as many times as you would like. But, which I will tell you, I'm not going to give you the stats just yet, but it is about twice as fast. But there are a ton of additional methods that will speed this up massively, and then I'll give you guys a demo of me doing it and the stats of how good this actually is. The first tip that I have, and this one should be like pretty obvious, but I haven't mentioned it so far. You need to use your emissary flag before starting any of this. If you do this, then after completing your first setup quest and your first additional Athena's quest in the bottom of the map, you will be at or should be extremely close to emissary grade 5, which is allowing you to sell at max profit. So even if you just do this you only do 2 quests, you'll still be at grade 5. So you need to do that if you're going to do this exploit. The next tip that will help you greatly, but it only works with 3 to 4 people. Drop 1 person off at Devil's Thirst or Ashen Reaches, whichever one you want, and then take the rest of you and the ship up to the other island or down to the other island. I would recommend this at Devil's Thirst just because, like, you drop someone at Ashen Reaches and do this at Devil's Thirst just because that's where I've been saying to vote for it from, but I'm pretty sure you could do it either way. Once you do this, you can have the 1 person or the 1 or 2 people that are on the other island on Ashen Reaches just do those quests and stack all the loot up, and then you can come get it at the end, which completely eliminates almost all of the travel time, especially if you're doing this for a ton of tries. The more time you do this for, the more worth it that this method is, and it would give you so much save and travel time, because travel time was over half of my demo time going back and forth between these 2 islands. Now, I'm going to quickly show you guys a demo of me doing this, just in case you missed anything. Then I will show you how much I made off the demo and the potential for how much you could make. I started at Galleon's Grave Outpost, which is probably the best place to start for this. I then voted for my setup quest and completed those 3 quests starting from north to south, like I said at the beginning. And remember to put up your emissary flag before leaving. So I did them north to south, ending at Ruby's Fall, starting at Fetcher's Rest. If we're going from north to south, Fetcher's Rest was my X marks the spot voyage, which if you didn't know just gives you 3 little Athena's trinkets. Next up was Flintlock Peninsula, which I had the Skeleton Orders quest, and if you aren't familiar with that one, it gives you Athena's skulls and a small chance to get a villainous Athena's skull as well, I believe. Now you may want to get comfortable with any quests on Ruby's Fall, as they may be coming back in a different exploit later this week. But this is just the order that you should be doing the quests in, so you want to head north to south. It doesn't matter where your quests are at, like which quests on which island. You need to be going Fetcher's Rest, Flintlock Peninsula, and Ruby's Fall. And if you have the right quest, that should be the 3 islands you have. And that was my chapter 1. My chapter 2 for my setup quest was at Devil's Thirst, which is right where you want to see yours pop up. But if it doesn't, like I said, it's okay. You just got to go there after. I dug up my Ashen Athena's quest at Devil's Thirst, and I sailed back. And then all you have to do is vote to sail to. Don't vote to dive to it. I don't know why you would do that, but I guess I didn't make it clear enough at the beginning for myself to have to say this again. Sail to another Ashen Athena's quest. I then completed the 1 quest I had on Devil's Thirst of the 3. And then, as I mentioned, the other 2 quests were on Ashen Reaches. After I finished the last 2 quests for this chapter 1 Ashen Reaches, I sailed back to Devil's Thirst to grab my second Ashen Athena's chest. I went to sell and see how much I could get from just this, but you can repeat the second quest as many times as you would like, and you can get tons of Ashen Athena's chest much faster than you could by just doing this the regular way. A regular Ashen Athena's quest, which was my setup one, took me 45 minutes. It made me about 60k gold and 1 level of reputation at about level 60. The exploited Ashen Athenas, or using this method, like I said, I don't know for sure that it's an exploit, and that isn't my job to figure out. The exploited Ashen Athenas took me 20 minutes. Also made me about 60k and 1 level of reputation, but you can do this even better. Grinding regular Ashen Athenas would net you about 80k gold and 1.3 levels per hour, while an exploited Ashen Athenas would yield about 180k gold and 3 levels per hour, making it about 2.5 times more efficient after setting it up. But that was solo. If you did this with the Brigantine or Galleon and you leave 1 or 2 people on the islands like I mentioned in the tips section, you can make this at least twice as fast because like I said, about half my time doing the exploited version was travel time. Meaning you could make about 350k gold per hour and about 6 levels per hour, which for Athena's is absolutely insane. Especially because we're missing out on exploits right now. If you guys enjoyed this exploit, please make sure to let me know in the comments, and let me know if you have any more exploits that I can share with the community, because the more the merrier. We're going great, help people level up quicker, help people get gold quicker. As I said at the beginning, I'm trying to make it to 7,500 subscribers, and it would mean a lot to me if you could help me get there. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.